Hello everyone, this is Isabella with Angel Chantress Love. Today we are going to talk about denying access to those who are opposed to our spiritual ascension. The message I'm receiving is that you are too powerful now to stop in this lifetime. So dark forces are attempting to access a timeline where you are still wounded and acting from that woundedness. So as we continue to ascend, we heal all of those hurts, those traumas, those mental projections, those emotional instabilities in our energetic field. We face our wounding and we heal from it, which closes off a lot of energy to these lower frequencies that are always attempting to engage with us and keep us stuck in the matrix energy. So as you may be aware, they have tried to thwart you in so many different ways. Depending on how spiritually aware you are, you may see this in your dreams. You may see people trying to block you. I had a vision of a person where I was like in my kitchen and they were literally like had their arms fully spread out and they were like kind of toggling back and forth on their legs trying to keep me trapped. It was really funny. But I'll have visions of, I won't say anything to anyone about what my plans are, but if they're tuned in enough psychically, they'll just like come up and say, "Oh, so you're going to do this, huh?" And I'm like, dang it, how did you know that? And as soon as I try to respond, I'll see like this giant plate-sized tarantula, and the tarantula is all about poisoning someone so that they're like immobilized in their life. So these are like dark magician energies and stuff. You'll see bees coming at you. You'll see either physically or in your dream state. People will send wasps and poisonous spiders and venomous snakes and scorpions and all sorts of stuff to immobilize you or put you into a painful state. Or you'll see things like shackles or chains or anywhere where you're seeing these things where you're feeling trapped or imprisoned or behind bars or anything. These are like entrapment spells and things. And there's a video on my website about entrapment if you'd like to do that one as well. That can help clear some of this stuff out. But the guides and angels want you to know that you are a free, divine, sovereign being, but you're going to have to reclaim your power. So let's call in, looks like Metatron and Sandalphon are wanting to help with this, along with Archangel Michael and Archangel Uriel. So let's call them forward. I'm also getting Hathor. Okay, so they're showing me a vision of an older gentleman. He's sitting in like a vast library. Looks like it's a house, an old house. Wooden bookcases all around and an old ornate desk. He's sitting in like a wingback chair. He's smoking a pipe. And someone's come into the room. It's another gentleman. And he's enraged. But the man in the chair is very relaxed, like smiling at this guy. He's just like, he's done something to block this man from receiving some property and a home and all of this that he wanted. He did something in the legal system to stop this purchase from happening. And not because he wanted the property himself, he just wanted to deny this other person access to it. So there's like some kind of a heavy emphasis here on being denied access in the past. Someone has denied access, and now they are being denied access to you and your energy and everything that is meant for you. So this is a contract that's being broken at this time. So I'm going to call upon Jesus to assist. I have a key decoder that he embedded in my right hand many years ago. And we're going to use this. You see a bunch of contracts sprawled across this man's desk. We're going to use the key decoder to unlock these contracts. And we're going to ask that they be null and void. Any dark contracts that are holding you in bondage are null and void in Jesus' name. Afdeahata fateaha yamanayo alamiana Eamiyahava Eaviana Alamiana Vaito Alveana Echiana la Eunihala Alamiana Naemiana. Okay, I'm seeing a coral snake, which is a venomous snake. So we're going to ask the Archangel Michael to capture that and wrap it in foil and dispense of it. Okay. There's something in the background too. There's like it's in the shadows. It's huge. Looks like a python. And I think pythons like suffocate their victims. So let's ask the angels to remove that. Get that out of the way here. Oh, that's interesting. They're almost like showing like the python's belly being like see-through, and I'm seeing like all these people inside the python, like all these people that this particular entity that's channeling through this man has consumed and controlled. Wow. This has been going on for a very long time, so this is most likely something that's in your generational lineage. Okay, rather than just dispensing of this python, I'm going to ask that the angels extract all of these people that have been under this dark contract and spell to be removed from this energy. And I see Archangel Michael cutting this python open with this flaming blue sword. And there are all these people emerging. God, there are like hundreds of them. This guy's been screwing people over for a long time. Okay, so we're going to ask Archangel Michael to cut all the cords of connection between this man, who is now not smiling any longer. He's not feeling so smug right now. So we're going to cut all the cords of connection between him and all these people. And we're going to ask that the angels pull this out of the roots from the moment of creation of this energy across all time, space, dimension, reality, and planes of existence from the point of origin. And every lifetime it manifested in sense, and every one it manifested through. We're going to ask the Archangel Uriel to burn all these connections up in angelic fire. And Archangel Gabriel's here. Gabriel is pouring a chalice of pure water, holy water, she's saying, over all of these contracts, over the being within the contract who is now exiting this man's body. Whew. This is a very big prime demon who, it also expelled a reptilian that's operating behind the prime demon. So we're going to stab both of those with the sword of truth. We're going to slit them from head to stern, and we are going to send them to the high courts for judgment for all of their crimes against humanity. So they will have a lot of karma to pay for. And this man who has allowed all of this to channel through him because he actually enjoyed watching all these people suffer, he too is being stabbed with the sword of truth and sent to the high courts for his justice. I actually see Hathor taking him away somewhere else. And I see Lady Justice here with her scales, and she's showing the scale that was like really heavily laden on one side has now been cleansed, and it is balanced. So they're letting you know that all of this is going to come into balance now, and all of these people are going to be freed from all of these energies. This is a process, and it does take some time. So we are going to bring in some energy of radical forgiveness. We do forgiveness practices for ourselves, so we are not holding on to these types of things like anger and greed and all of that, because that just harms you and then you harm others. So let's clear that out. Aya vakanea vana, aya vakanea vana, iuvalana, iuvano, alaveatia. Alamianae, alamianae, yamanavae, alamianae, olamianae, alamianae, alamianae, minalae. They're showing me a red dog. I don't know what that means. Now they're showing me the words red dog on like an old sign that you would see in like getting like a ghost town. It's like a tavern or something. Now they're showing me a plane, like a biplane, and a farm. These must be the lives that are popping up that were affected, because they're all kind of just random and all over the place. Yeah, and an old schoolhouse and a teacher. Ew, they're showing me like a farm accident, loss of limb. They're showing me a hospital, showing me a kid with a brace on their leg, polio. Okay, so you might have a bunch of energies, depending on what is in your actual family lineage connected to this particular entity. You might have different like dreams and visions over the next several days that show you some of the lives that were affected by these entities. You're showing me all the people that were affected walking into a lake. I'm assuming for cleansing purposes, to clear their energies. Yes, and the angels are actually lighting the lake with holy fire to burn away all the residual artifacts in their energy fields so they can be free of it. Let's help with this. Avidika nalai mahanamekaze, alaze anala lai sanatae, alaze anota mae zitane, alaze kanika, alaze kane. Archangel Gabriel, as each one of these people is emerging from the water, I'm seeing like a cloud above Archangel Gabriel, and this water is pouring forth into her chalice, and she is having each of these beings sip from the chalice of life. And then the angels are escorting these people to where they need to go next in their journey. Some will return for karmic cycles on the planet. Some will elevate, just emerge into the spirit. Okay, so they're saying that your ascension has exceeded the matrix programming of many of these beings on the planet. So you might start seeing people around you as you continue to ascend, having bursts of anger or rage, creating accusations against you. You might see the reversal of their energy bouncing off your shielding, which might cause illness, accidents, even death. The guides and angels want you to know that this is not your fault. If these people have projected these things upon you, these problems, these conditions, through their mental projections and their acts of darkness, and your shielding is becoming more powerful, they're going to get that back. They're reminding me of an incident where I was walking through a park, and there was this little boy, and he was just so happy, and he was just skipping along the trail, and his mother went into fear mode, and she yelled at him and told him to stop running or he was going to fall and break his ankle. And she immediately fell down on the ground because his vibration was so beautifully high that he wasn't going to take that energy that she was so strongly projecting at him, and she got it right back. So really be careful with your own projections and be aware of how powerfully the people around you are reacting and how quickly they're getting their karma immediately back. And they can receive good karma if they're putting out good things, but if they're putting out a lot of negative energy and stuff, This is the way that the universe is balancing itself out and letting them know that they need to start choosing a higher path and being aware of their thoughts and emotions. So try not to respond back in a negative way. Just hold your space, they're saying. So let's create the energy of holding our space. O Beitika Naleoha, O Beitika Laneha, O Viata Lemia, Eo Sokala Sia, Eo Nialania. And they're showing the expansion of a beautiful rainbow around each of you, and you pushing it out, expanding it outward. Ova meka lamia, iovona lamia, eovika la chikana, etumika la nanamia. So just ground that beautiful light in and hold that frequency as you go about your day or you go into your sleep cycle. As you continue to grow and expand, you're going to see more and more energies where they're being denied access to you. I've had people tell me that I'm like really hard to reach sometimes, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what is it that you think you need to reach out to me for? Because if you're coming with lower intentions, you're not going to be able to connect to me. If you're coming in a wounded state and you need my assistance, the guides and angels, if you have good intentions towards me, they'll allow you to come through and to find me and to connect with me. But if your intentions are unclean, the only reason that they would allow you to connect to me is because they're going to have me seed light into the situation so that you can awaken. I can activate you and you can face any karmic energies that you need to face and do your shadow work. Those who do not want to do their shadow work and have made that very clear, really, I'm just there to activate them to doing that work, whether they're happy about it or not. And then if they're unwilling to work with me, I have to step away and their karma immediately comes through to them for whatever they're trying to do to others. And I've been seeing a lot of just weird energies lately. I saw like a Black Widow emblem, and then I went to like drop something off for someone, and there was no address on the house, but the GPS stopped me in front of this house, and this little old lady comes out and she's like thanking me, and I'm like, it's kind of heavy, do you want me to bring it in? And she's like, oh no, I've got it and everything. And I drive off, and then I found out later that I had misdelivered to this person, and the house that I was supposed to be delivering to was behind this woman's house, but she actually had this like weird entrapment energy, so she caught that before, you know, the person who it was intended for could get it. And she was an elderly lady. She must have been about 80 years old. I was like, oh, you're a little sneaky thing, aren't you? But no harm done, but still it's like that's going to come back at her at some point where she's taking what doesn't belong to her. I'm not sure why people think they have a right to do that or to control anyone else's life or energy, but it does all come back on us at some point. So just be careful with your intentions and ask yourself why you're, you know, doing what you're doing, and free yourself from those lower vibrational frequencies, because those are just those are dark forces trying to infiltrate your energy field, and they're constant. You have to be really vigilant to protect yourself from these energies all the time. So we're going to do one final shift here. Omeni avadeaha, omeni kalamiana, euvitale, euvitana, alamekania, talamekana. So let's call back. Let's send out our animal spirits and the fairies to go and gather all of our soul fragments from all of these lifetimes, across all time, space, dimension, reality, and planes of existence. Anywhere where our energy has been entrapped by another, anywhere we've given up our power and allowed that to happen, or anywhere where they just were being sneaky. And we're going to ask the animal spirits and fairies to bring all of that energy back into your individual crystalline cave. Just see yourself sitting in your own little sacred cave, the crystals all around you. They'll bring all of those fragments back. And when they do that, we're going to ask the angels to purge all of those soul fragments in angelic fire, whatever fire color that the angels deem necessary for you as an individual. So clear and purge those soul fragments. You don't want to bring those back into yourself when they're still unhealed. You want to heal them. We're going to call in any inner children. Just focus on calling on your inner child and all of the fragmented selves. Ask them to join you here and to help you purge and integrate all this energy. And once that's done, and this may take several days, so just set your intention that once that is done, you're going to grab all of those crystals, those soul fragments. You're going to pull them all down once they're cleansed through your crown all the way down through your lower chakras and deep into the core of Gaia, and seed all that good energy back in so you can bring it forward with you. We're going to ask Metatron and Sandalphon to come forward. Metatron's going to surround you in Metatron's cube. Bring in energy from the great central sun into the upper part of the cube. Sandalphon's going to bring up the crystalline core, diamond fire, into the lower cube. And we're going to twist that cube almost like we're locking it in place together. And then those energies will merge together in our heart chakra and in our sacral center. Deep breath. We're going to ask that any artifacts remaining from these old energies be dissolved in angelic fire. And we're going to ask Hathor for some added protection around the sphere. And we're thanking all the guides, angels, ancestors, sending out radical forgiveness to all, including ourselves. Obadikanala talamikane, alameoita alamekane, iachakamala ianakahe, alameayananameai. Thank you all for being here and for doing your shadow work. Sending you love and blessings.